Got all my parts cleaned up. There's my rockers and shafts. Everything's cleaned up good. All my bolts. Those are my intake bolts. There's the oil pump. And the jakes, or pack brakes, right there. My cam is all cleaned up. There's my exhaust bolts. There's my caps for the cam. There's the parts to mount, put the cam back together in the front where the gear case is. The pistons and liners, I'm still waiting on those to come back from the machine shop. They said my pistons are not good to put back, that I should replace them, so we ordered the kit that includes pistons. So there's my oil pan, and then there's my valve cover pan. And I'm cleaning up the last of the dirty parts, which is my intake manifold. Not that it needed to be last, it just turned out that way. And then this crap out here is supposed to clear up. The reason the garage door is open because I've been spraying brake cleaner in here, and well, I got a gas furnace in the garage, so I got to open the door every now and then while I'm using that brake cleaner. But I'm feeling for when the edge is rolling over on the back, then I know that it's ground down enough on that side. Now I'm going to take it over here on the smooth wheel and just touch up the back side. That's it. That's how I like to do mine. Yeah, I'm just cleaning up these gasket surfaces. I gotta use pretty much a razor sharp scraper. I use these thick bladed putty knives. This one's getting short, but I just keep sharpening them up on the side of the grinding wheel, and I keep a real sharp edge on it, and that gets me pretty good job on cleaning gaskets. Those so-called gasket scrapers from the auto parts store, I don't like them. I like these fairly thick, stiff bladed putty knives. They make a real good gasket scraper for me, because I'm getting a bunch of not just gasket material, but kind of rusted aluminum, this white corroded stuff that aluminum does. And then if I have any doubts when I'm done, I'll take a file, a flat, clean, smooth tooth file, and clean it up a little bit more. But this is just an air intake. On a car, it's very crucial that an air intake is sealed real good. On the diesel, well, yeah, you always want a good seal, but if it does have a slight leak, it's really not going to hurt anything. But this isn't going to have any leaks. And I could take a file like this, and if I needed to, and I didn't clean this yet. I should. I'm just doing it for an example. And just carefully go two different directions. Need to hold it with two hands, but the cart's rolling. I got a salamander heater under there. Temperature is warmer today, but it's pretty windy out. It's supposed to be up around 60 this afternoon. I don't know if the heat's really going to make a difference or not. This is the one we pulled out here the other day, number 2. I got to turn the crankshaft to get number 1 and number 6. I already beefed up the puller that I made that was stretching. I fixed that earlier today. I just started this salamander heater up a little while ago. It's a propane one. Give that a chance to heat up a little bit and come out, see what we can get. It's warmer out here. If it's 60, that's fine. If we get the motor up to, I don't know, 90, 100 degrees, whatever underneath there, we'll see if that softens up the seals and help. Here's the number 2 hole that we pulled out yesterday, and when I look down in there, I can see it. The reason I was able to get in here is because of the counterweights. The crankshaft throw, which is that part right there, is out of the way, and these counterweights, which are these right here, are down out of the way. And I thought number 3 and 4, I might be able to get those because the throws are down, but the counterweights are all the way up, so I'll have to rotate it to get to that. So I'm not going to do that yet, since it's in this position. Wherever number 2 is, number 5 is going to be exactly the same. Boy, this wind is terrible. It's got this truck that's rocking all over the place. It's gusting up to 40 miles an hour today. It's terrible. It's dangerous, really. Anyway, I'm going to try to get this one out next, but I'm going to try to let it warm up a little bit in here. It still feels pretty cold. The metal feels cold. I stuck a drop light down there, number 5 cylinder also. I'm hoping any source of heat to get down in there. I don't know that heat's going to do it. Here we are getting it out. I only had to double wrench it for a couple of turns, and now I can just use a single wrench and continue on out. So I don't know if the heat helped or if this is just an easier cylinder. In case somebody doesn't know what I mean by double wrench, it's this right here. Do that to break it loose when it's real tight. Yeah, this one's going a lot faster. We're getting that hollow sound now, so I know it's about to pop out of there. I'm cleaning the top of the block today and some gasket surfaces, and I thought I better catch this little piece on tape while I'm blowing in here. I'm getting an awful lot of antifreeze out of these holes, and so I'm going to show, I want to get all that cleaned out of there, these bolt holes, before we try, before I forget when we put it together, because we don't want antifreeze down in the bolt holes. I'm cleaning these holes out where these liners go all the way down to the bottom there. See if we can get a close-up on that. Down here in this area is where the rings are going to mate, or the O-rings and the seal. It's all down in that part there, and I'm trying to get that area cleaned out real good on all of these. Probably going to use a scraper as much as I can inside the hole there, inside that groove, and then probably some Scotch-Brite pads. I really don't want to use sandpaper because I don't want any sand falling down in the crankshaft area. Of course, I got to blow all that area down below out real good with air before I start putting it back together. Got myself 3 scrapers here that are nice and sharp and ready to use, so I'll probably use them up and resharpen them again. And one thing I'm going to be very picky about is cleaning this shoulder edge around here. Well, I'm going to clean the surface of the head real good and the manifolds and all these other gasket surfaces, but these right here are very important that that's clean for the height of the top of the cylinder or the liner. I'm sticking a bolt in these oil galleries. That's these 2 on the very ends. One here, I already cleaned that one, and I thought I'd better get that on camera. So I stick a bolt in there and clean all the way up to it because I don't want all that junk getting down in the oil gallery. Then after you get it done around it, then you can take your scraper and start in the middle and work your way out this way and clean it. Going down in the water jackets, I don't care about that. Well, that's a bolt hole. The bolt holes, let me zoom this back out. The bolt holes are obviously an even 8 all the way around. And this is a water hole here that comes out the bottom there and goes down into the water jacket. And then these big holes here are just return for the oil. I don't care about those because the oil pan is not on, so everything's going to fall out the bottom, and we got to clean that bottom side good anyway. I got my liner, whatever they call these recessed areas, shoulder area, I got all those cleaned out. The top of the head cleaned pretty good. Scraped anyway. It still needs to be cleaned up some with like Scotch-Brite pads. Not the ones for the kitchen, but the ones you use in body work that are more abrasive. You polish that down a little bit. These darker areas, polish some of that down. I don't know how important that is, but that's what you're supposed to do. I'm going to take this diamond seal off. There's a lot of silicone on this hub here that goes in here that we covered that, taking the camshaft off, what that piece is. But I'm going to clean this because I don't want any oil leaks passing from the camshaft and the valve cover, because all that seals up against this. So I'm going to clean all that off real good and dry it with brake cleaner so that when I put it back together it'll seal up good. This is my Harbor Freight video camera. The little small camera goes down in a hole. I mentioned earlier when I was first taking the motor apart that I thought I was going to be able to get down in the injector holes with this, but it is pretty tiny and it didn't fit in there. But I got plenty of room to get down in those cylinders. I'm going to take a look with this camera and hopefully record some video of what I can see with the camera down inside those holes. I don't know if this is the right or wrong way to do it, but it's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some off-road diesel fuel that's in this coffee can. I don't know if you can see the color, but it's red. Wire brush that is in pretty decent shape. I don't think any wires are going to fall out of it, and some Scotch-Brite pads. And I'm going to go around the bottom area where the sealing rings are going to be on each one of these cylinders. I'm going to work my way around that. It is kind of pitted down here where there's kind of a chamfered area. I'm going to try to zoom in on it. And it's got some pitting on it. And it's going to make it hard to get the seals past that chamfered area without taking a chance on damaging the seals. I think what I'm going to do is stick a towel down in there and go on ahead and get some sandpaper and do it that way, because the Scotch-Brite pad did a nice job of cleaning everything on the surface, but where the pitting is, and there's some heavier scale there. I didn't even use the wire brush. I don't think it's going to help me any. So I'm going to stuff a towel down in there and then put some sandpaper on that chamfered area and try to clean that up good. We'll just grease it good when we're done to protect the seals on the way in there. Got my towel down in there. It's not going to do a perfect job because stuff that falls in the towel still probably fall out into the bottom. We'll just blow it out real good. Try to wash it down with some diesel before we start doing anything underneath, putting the bottom together. I'm going to start out with a piece of 120 and just barely, because 120 is kind of coarse, so I'm just barely going to work on the chamfered area. And the only reason that chamfer is there is to ease the seal on its way in there. I'm going to try to stay away from the machined area below that the seal has to seal against. And then we'll polish it up some more with some 400 after that, I think.